Jeep, Jeep. You're not by like a roadway. I'm just hearing like tin can.
Can you hear the road? It's a long way away.
It's incredibly faint. It might just be like ambient tin can.
There is a major freeway just down the hill. So it's pretty loud outside. So you'll hear it, I imagine.
We're going to try this. It's probably going to be really loud. Oh, it's not working?
No, I'm scared.
Oh, that's probably good.
It's going to happen.
It was called Tense Hip Hop. And then I got an error. So I don't know if any of these work, actually.
I don't hear no buttons.
You get anything there?
Nope.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, we got no sounds
if your black hole's not working, your buttons won't be working.
Right.
My black hole's not working either.
Yeah, it must be because we updated. I wonder if that's it.
I reckon that's the timing of when I updated to Sequoia or whatever it's called.
Damn trees.
A broken black hole.
When I reckon we've started having
the dad
intergalactic
story
podcast issues.
Okay, well, there's some of the... I don't know why I didn't put that together till now. That's what I was struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a nanny out sick today, and then son got a fever, and it just went down for a nap right before we started, and the monitor, he just sat up, looked at the camera, started crying like right as we started, and I was like, good. So luckily Aaron could steal away.
Are you sure?
Seems so. Doesn't seem to be a problem yet. So I'm either going to be holding him or ending soon at some point, potentially. Who knows?
Sweet.
I see you also have similar struggles lately.
Yeah, I've been full-time dad this week, which has been super fun, actually.
Because it's just like
a little
all
bit
you
of
can
wrangling
do.
this morning. I've really enjoyed the headspace of just the focus of it. I think
that is wild.
I've been trying to get work done, but overall, it's been a really good week, and I've really enjoyed just having, I don't know, I can't quite work out what it is. I think it's just having one adult agenda to deal with. So like I get up in the morning, I know where we need to be, get one of them to school, fail to drop the other one off at childcare. Oh, speaking of which, hello, little intrusion.
Papoy? Makalana Papoy? No. Papoy. Ah, Papoy.
I'm on a phone call. No, you know. Yes. Hello. What you doing, mate?
Playing.
I just need to talk to Justin for a bit, buddy. Can you go back inside? No, we can't have background noise. In your pup.
It isn't too loud.
Go on, back inside, please. It sounds pretty loud to me. Come on, say hello quickly.
Sure. I'm trying to get down somehow.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
It's okay. I love how we started talking about kids and then...
Oh, God, there's another one.
There's
Just
two.
put the other one outside. Can you see Justin?
Hello.
Mario. I think it's because they're the only Australian kids that I hear, but every time Bluey starts, I hear your kids.
You go with Granny, please.
Well, there's the intro.
gosh.
Can you go with Granny, please? Sure, I'll go with Granny.
I think they're walking away. If I stay very quiet,
It's
they'll
funny,
walk away.
you must sit incredibly still because everything, your mic was just like going whoop, 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 whoop. Like these little kids moving around.
The whole trailer moves. Like I can hear them coming because they climb over the drawbar and like the truck wobbles.
Right. Anyway, kids. So you have kids?
Oh, it's not going well.
No. Need to go for a sec.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry.
Dear listener, might have muted Jem's side, but it seems that one of two or both children seems to not be very happy right now. Jem's attending to that, saying, if you're not familiar, the show Bluey is an Australian show for kids, and they're about 8-minute shows. It's absolutely wonderful. I had very little exposure before having a child myself, but it's got incredible music. It's always some kind of like built-in lesson that's like the kids probably don't catch, but the parents are always like in tears because it's like so emotionally moving or like healing from our childhood. And every time I hear the song go on and one of the kids in the show start talking, and they're dogs, by the way, the whole family's dogs, and I hear the kids talk and I hear Jem's kids because they're the only Australian kids I know. So anyway, 5-star review for Bluey. I think Jem is about to be back.
Hello.
Hello. We had a good old time. I just did a full deep dive on Bluey, in case people didn't know.
Can't wait to hear it.
Or we'll just cut it out.
Who doesn't know about Bluey?
Well, right. Well, I was saying before I had kids, I knew of it, had no reason to watch it really. So I say kids. I have a kid, singular.
Okay. Now that I'm out of breath, chasing them back into the house. I'm good.
It's nice to have Granny though. That's got to be a huge. You don't know any different.
No, I know how lucky we are. Like we've got such good family support here.
Right.
To the extent that sometimes I'm self-conscious telling other young parents about it, of like how close our grandparents are.
Right.
Say, oh yeah, we've got some help. One of them lives through the wall, but all good.
No, that's a mother-in-law.
How's your week?
Granny lives in the wall. Yeah, it's been chaotic. Not to. Yeah, that's just kids and missing childcare, and I always scoffed when I had friends. Not scoffed, just didn't understand. It's like, oh, the kids are home or whatever. It's like, I just didn't go to work today. Like I'm working at home today.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's fun. I have this continual situation, and it's not really ethical. I have just a quandary. It's probably going to be easy to answer. So in the ATC pedestals, we drill a hole in the base plates for every position. It's kind of partially a pattern thing in terms of how they work, but because it's an agnostic product, it's not for shop sabers. There's always a bunch of bolts and hardware in the tabletops of machines already. And so we only advise you use 2 of the holes in each base plate is all you need. So you can, like, if there's interference, you can shift.
Right. Yep.
The problem is, most of the time it works fine, and then people are really always confused, even if we put in notes and I would say it's about 50-50, they want the rest of the bolts because they don't like seeing the open holes.
Yeah.
I think.
No one likes an open hole.
Yeah, right. I know. Fill all the holes, right? That's what I wrote down.
Feels wrong. Yeah.
Do I just start sending one for every hole, even though it's completely unnecessary? That's the question.
Yeah, interesting. There is something, I think, particularly the type of people who are buying products like this are probably the peak sort of personality where they can't quite cope with
open holes,
an unfilled bolt hole.
Yeah, right.
So do you make just like a plug?
No, I mean,
or just send all the bolts?
Nothing. Doesn't need. I mean,
like
ours
how much of the bolt is it?
Oh, the bolts are they're not expensive. It's just, I wouldn't say there's even a principle to it. It's just, it feels silly to me. But I guess the answer is pretty easy to just stop. I guess the opposite now is going to be, we'll have people that go, oh, I have interference on one. I can't put one in that hole. And yeah.
That'll bug them. Yeah. I would just send the bolts.
Send the bolts.
If it saves you a question.
Yeah. I updated the guide recently after we were just talking. Haven't come to any new solutions on guides, but I was updating it and I put in another note about how you really don't need it. So I might back that off now and just send all of them.
Send all of them. I mean, it does show all the bolts in the renderings on the website. So.
Does it? No. That's probably part of it.
Not in the photograph of the actual installed one, but in the render they're all neatly inserted. So I'd want to fulfill that.
Yeah, the commentary is usually, oh, I'm missing some bolts. And we're always like, no, you're not. Okay.
I wonder, it'd be interesting to not do this because it'd be a waste of time, but like to do a study of the time spent answering that question versus cost of having sent extra bolts out in all the kits.
Oh, yeah, it's an easy answer, yeah. And then any one of those people that ask, we always go, yeah, we can send you the rest. Would you like them? And they go, yeah. So we have another small low cost shipment to send them, but I'm probably spending way more money, not only in time, but secondary shipments that I shouldn't be sending.
What does it cost you to send like a secondary shipment of like a small, low weight package in the States?
Absolute cheapest for, let's say, 4 35 mil long M6 it's about $4.50 USPS.
Oh, it's so good.
Post office. And then if I go to UPS ground,
but you have to go
it's
to
maybe
the post
$6 to
office
$7.
send
No, everything gets picked up at our shop, which feels very pro. Because I went for so many damn years of taking stuff to the post office, and then finally realized, like, ShipStation allows you to just make a request anytime you want. You can also automate it. Like, this one kind of pissed me off. We have to pay UPS to come to us every day. It ends up being like $10 a week to basically make sure that they come. But we ship we have 1 to 10 packages a day for UPS, so we love them. They're super good. They're so like reliable and helpful, and it's good. I'm fine with it, I guess. For even though it's odd, it's like they're already coming to our neighbors, but we eventually got the kind of like mob push from one of our last delivery drivers. He's like, we're super friendly with all of them. He's like, yeah, man, it's like, it's not my decision, but like technically I'm not supposed to stop here unless you've paid us. And I was like, you come next door every day. And he's like, yeah, but and I was like, all right,
you haven't paid the bribe money.
Yes, that's exactly. So I just have a $9.90 every week I have to pay them on an invoice. It's silly, but
that's a fair bit.
It works
over a year.
I was pissed about it at first, but then I just got over it. I was like, I don't have to think about it anymore. It's a weird subscription.
Yeah, totally.
We never have packages go missing with them, ever.
I'm always torn about those little secondary, we forgot the bolts packages, because if we've got an account with TNT, FedEx, it's FedEx now because they bought TNT.
Oh.
And to ship, a small packet of bolts with FedEx somewhere in Australia is like minimum $22 or something, $20 for a satchel. And so often I'll be like, cool, we should just take this to the post office. We don't have a post pickup. Take it to the post office at the end of the day. And every time I regret it as I'm standing in the queue, like, come on, this is taking
Oh, you have to stand in the queue too?
Yeah. I think there's probably better ways to do it, but
can you not like ship, like pre-label it and drop it?
I could probably get organized and like buy prepaid satchels to do stuff like that, but I haven't. We do it so rarely, I just haven't done it. But
some of that stuff,
I should put that on my to-do list.
Pirate Ship, which is a free option, and ShipStation, which we pay for a little bit, but all those you can like. I mean, I've been doing, even though I had to take them to the post office for so long, everything was always pre-labeled. It's always way cheaper for us too than quote unquote retail post office prices.
Yeah, totally.
If it's an option, you definitely should. The standing part would kill me. I'd be like, absolutely not. You can't get your bolts. I can't stand in line for you. Sorry.
Always regret it. Like, would have been cheaper to spend the $20 on FedEx. Yeah.
I did always used to get a little bit of enjoyment to walk in when everybody is queued up and just go to the desk and hand them that is an end desk, and I go, yep, I got mine labeled. Good luck on your line, guys.
Nice. I've been like seeing the weekly FedEx bill roll in. Sometimes it's like pretty okay. Some weeks it's huge, depending on how many web orders we had and how much we've shipped. How many big sets of shelves we've shipped into state that week. It can be a pretty frightening weekly bill. And over the last sort of 3 months or so, I've been actively being a bit more critical about that. And like, cool, that big set of shelves is going to Melbourne. Let's just like push a few Melbourne deliveries together, save on our time, like packing it all up to be safe with the couriers.
Interesting.
And put it in the van, and we'll do, send someone to Melbourne for half a day and hand deliver a bunch of orders.
Right.
And I did a cost comparison recently of paying just a local bloke, a chap, of like, paying him pretty much a day at a good hourly casual rate to go down to Melbourne And by the time it included fuel for the van, his labor and everything, I did a little cost comparison between what it would have cost to send this big set of shelves via TNT, and it was like we saved $100 or something by sending him.
Wow.
And we didn't have to pack it up and ship it and pay, like, because of when we're sending large objects via FedEx, there's all these like extra fees. It's like oversized delivery for each packet that's oversized, and the whole consignment's over 100 kilos, and it's just like,
oh man, that's the way to do
stack
it.
on the fees like crazy. So yeah, for like more local deliveries, we've been doing that lately, which has been saving a bunch of cash, I think.
This is perfect. I was gonna put this down, and I recommended it to somebody recently, but I don't know. Maybe we've talked about it before, but I'm like a huge proponent of couriers, which is basically maybe what you're describing. I don't know if there's companies that we call it something different, but we have couriers here that it's basically just local delivery of anything you want. Like, I know there's like Uber delivery services and stuff, but I'm just talking about like local companies, like the one in town we use is called Direct Transport. We have issues often with fine details, but it's very cost effective, like so cost effective that I literally can't afford not to use them. Not like, oh, we're going out of business, but it's so cost effective that like there's no cheaper way for me to do it, except for probably not accounting for my own time and delivering something. But if I have to pay somebody, if I pay Ricky, absolutely, it would probably cost me double to have him go and do something like anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Take one bolt across town or...
Yeah, we've got services like that. They're fantastic for things like that. Just incidental, semi-local.
But can you use those
paint
to like...
picked up in the next town over.
Can you have that delivered, like your products just delivered by them? Wouldn't that be like way cheaper?
Not for sort of Melbourne range, because we're an hour and 20 out of Melbourne, an hour and a half out of Melbourne. They don't really do that circuit directly. But for sort of regional, semi-local stuff, those guys are awesome, because it's like $5 to pick up some paint half an hour away in another town or whatever it is. Really great. Yeah.
Anyway, for anybody listening, if you've never looked into a courier, man, just like, I'll give you an example. The example that always kills me is like, I was literally looking at buying a panel van, like a big cargo van, because I needed to go get a few sheets of plywood every once in a while when I was back in our old shop. And it was always under the delivery requirement of the vendor. And somebody told me, hey, look into couriers. And it was, when I first started using them, 2018 or so, it was $17 or $18 to have under the minimum, like maybe up to 6 sheets of plywood delivered, like within 4 hours in town. And I was like, I would be spending so much money to do this otherwise. And it's gone up a little bit, but I think I still get a local delivery of a couple sheets for maybe $21. It's just wild to me.
So good. So good. Yeah. That's something we were really nervous about when we moved from Melbourne to a regional. Yeah. And of just like the expense of getting materials to us, or the expense of delivering back to Melbourne, things like that. But it's been so good. I think like we got that FedEx account around the same time, got pretty good rates thanks to a friend. And it's just really been a non-issue with the regional move, like despite...
That's crazy, yeah.
Our nerves about it, it's just been, pretty smooth for the most part.
Very nice.
What's this laser video you sent me? I started watching it.
I am working on a video. Did it go to the right time in the video for you? Should have linked to a specific time, about 2 minutes in. It's the X Tool F1. I'm not sure if it's an up. They have different models of that. But
no way.
About 2 minutes in, they have this conveyor belt portion of the video where there's an imaging camera that basically aligns. They have like business cards or something, and it will engrave specifically on the products, and they can be oriented in any direction, and then it just conveyors on to the end. And I was just like, when I first saw it on the website, I was just like, nah, that's stupid. There's no way that works. And I watched the video, and they're like live engraving in this video, marketing video. And then it kind of clicked for me, like, shit, that's really like, it's probably still too small to be like really very effective, you know, like, but it's just really cool. Like automated.
Where can I buy one?
I don't know where they're.
I would love to
It's
put little timber
xtool.com.
components through that. So it's a laser engraver with a conveyor. That's sick. I still love the idea of being able to laser engrave our brand into like, you know, the cap of the kit parts or, you know, small timber components, which something like that would be amazing for. But
I mean, the CO2 has been decent for engraving stuff. It definitely is not the quality I would want. Like if if it was like a really, the things we engrave are mostly packaging, and one product we removed some powder coating as an engraving, and it's not the quality I would like, but I think it's very passable. And so I don't know. I've always looked at, you know, potentially a fiber, and they're always pretty expensive. But these X1s, or I always keep getting that wrong. F1, it's a diode laser. I think there's two types of lasers, infrared as well, and supposedly they can engrave on metal, woods. Pretty small footprint of what it can engrave on, but something I'm working on is potentially stainless steel, and we have no way to engrave on that currently. So just kind of shopping around, and in the market of these kind of laser engravers, that's incredibly cheap. Like I think they're $1,300 right now for the kind of base X1, or God, I'm going to say that wrong every time, F1. And then I found this conveyor belt video, and I was like, oh my God, automated laser engraving.
Attractive. Very cool. They've got a bunch of DIY products as well, which look interesting. There's one here which is like $700 clearance.
Right.
I didn't know you could get things like that. That's cool.
Yeah, I've seen a few people. There's a decent amount of Insta machinists that have these things, I think, or other fiber lasers that are, you know, those are basically $3,000 to $5,000, I think, roughly. And that seems a little too costly for what I'm thinking at this point. I don't know. It's cool.
It's a little bit dangerous. A little bit dangerous after I've had a good cash flow week.
Ooh.
Seeing something like this, Justin.
We did this before with bamboos.
Danger. What are you doing to me?
Has the bamboo turned into a product for you in any way? Like, or is it mostly just R&D and internal? Like, you don't sell anything that's off of there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it makes us some production parts.
Oh, I did not.
It makes a funny little doorstop for the kit parts cabinets.
Oh, cool.
Which there wouldn't really be a better way to do it other than injection molding because of the profile of it.
Right.
It's perfect. And we print, you know, a few hundred of those every few months. So that's fantastic. Just in PLA. And that's probably the only part that goes through into an actual product. But it prints lots of soft jaws for the pencil sharpener because we smash them and they wear out.
Right, yeah. I knew that one.
And R&D purposes, yeah. It doesn't run that much, like compared to what I imagine you're doing on the bamboos. You know, it probably runs once or twice a week. It's not heaps. I'd like to do more with it, but yeah.
Yeah. Until we started doing
it's good.
Tool tags specifically, we would go in pretty big spurts of like, let's run a batch of dust boots. And then we made a few parts. We have a few pieces that go on the duck towers. And once the tool tag stuff started going off, that really,
cool.
I wouldn't say it's like time consuming necessarily. It's still pretty quick, but like, you know, when you sell batches of 25, we can print 12 at a time on a bed. It ends up, people usually buy a couple at a time. So it's like, it's just, you know, one order can basically be a full day of printing for one machine. So it ends up being a decent amount of time.
Yeah. That's cool. I really want to try printing some TPU. Have you done any TPU on yours?
Yeah, a little bit. These little, you ever seen these little stands I made for, it's like a MagSafe adapter. I printed a TPU base for it. This one doesn't have it. What else have we done? That's pretty much all I've used it for. But
and you do it on the external filament holder when you do that?
Supposedly
you don't put it through the AMS, do you? Yeah. I tried feeding it into the AMS once, and it was not a fun time.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
And then I read the instructions. Yeah.
All right. Dry it really well, and almost always when it's a weird material, just print slower. Just way slower than Bamboo's always, they're like the helical of, helical's always like way high on their feed rates.
Push it faster.
On that note, I finally, after it's been 2 years at least of having the Cat 40 tool tag tower, I last night had some time before my dog got sprayed by a skunk. When everybody fell asleep, I've been trying to make a generic version of the tool tag tower that I can convert easily to new and other tapers, basically, or sizes of tool tags. Because we've only ever had the Cat 40, because that's what I made for our machine. I never made it to be changeable in the first place. It was kind of just like couture for Cat 40. I had no thought that this would ever turn any of this. So I probably once a week at least, we get a request for a different size of tool tag or tool tag tower, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get to that. So last night I busted out the BT30. Basically, I think needs to be test printed. I need to get the labels on there, but I have some. It's pretty close to being parametric. I'm sure if I change it too much in terms of size, it's going to break. Like, we had a request for Cat 50. I don't know if you've ever seen a Cat 50 in person, but it is
not in person. No,
it's like the size of our spindle, like nose.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'll be nice to have another size finally. If you've been looking for
awesome
solutions like that.
I think that's where Fusion excels, I feel, in like parametric control of products like that. If you got the skills to build the robust model, it's so good. Such a powerful thing.
It's still gonna fail, I think, a lot of ways, but it should be a lot better. I should be able to. The other one wasn't completely unworkable. Like, it would have just exploded and never been solvable again. And the original Cat 40. So now I should at least be able to. I know I can do an ISO 30 off of it pretty easily. Probably ISO 20, the cutest tool holder in the world. There's so little. I'll have to make a video of all the sizes. I've acquired quite a few to test with over time.
Cool. Yeah. Interesting. Well, it's your fault if I buy a laser this week.
Yeah.
Damn.
That really makes me like, I don't. It concerns me that it's not enclosed fully. This X-Tool D1 Pro Gem just sent me. It's got a little shield around the head that's supposedly enough to block the laser, but I don't trust that shit.
That's enough, right?
There's a slot in the side of it.
I guess the more we go, like the more we sort of go down this path where Kit Parts is our core product, and the more I'm sort of becoming aware/wary that we need to protect our IP in some way and sort of hold our space. And, with that Australian brand Timber, however it's pronounced, TYMB, I'll put it.
You mean the dating app?
It seems to be. Yeah, no, not that one.
So obviously it would have a preference, like.
That's making shelves that look very much like our shelves.
I don't even remember how to spell it.
I've just been thinking about that a bit more lately. Of like, how do we get our brand out there? So the idea of sort of, because Kit Parts has been unlabeled. The early versions actually had like butter engraved into the underside of some of the shelves. But most of our products have no branding on them, which is something that's kind of just fallen off the radar, because we used to be much better at doing that. Like, we used to do the hot stamp brand on all the crates and the engraving on the Kit Parts and things. So laser's always been attractive.
Right.
Just at sort of, I don't know what that would really do, but just people associating us and people seeing our logo and things might be helpful in that space. Claiming it a bit. Yeah. Don't know.
Definitely. Is there any progress on baby pencil sharpener? Junior? Number 2?
Junior's on hold at the moment. Ro, the friend who's helping me start to develop that, has been overseas. So I think they're back soonish, in a few weeks. So hopefully, kick things off again.
Right.
Make some progress on that. So that's just kind of been on hold. Yeah. Completely. Just while
Big
they're
project.
away. Because I do not have capacity right now.
We have 12 days until the moon is in optimum position. We can't afford any distractions.
To think about it, but a little. That's where I reckon we'll be leaning heavily on the printers to develop that. Pretty much print a prototype, I think, because all the parts will be within size envelope and
Right.
make a working prototype printed.
The other thing, I just thought of this. I never think of it myself, but I always see it through a few different types of YouTube people. But this PCB way, they started, I think, as mostly PCB prototyping, but now they do like 3D printing and CNC prototyping. And remember back when we had that Maker Muse thing I brought up, that he had 3D printed some tool steel, and it was through PCB way. But you may find some real low cost ways to prototype through that too.
Cool.
If your parts you need designed or made, or
Nice. I'll add that to the list. Thank you.
I think it's closer to your area of the world too. I think a lot of it comes from closer than me.
Yeah,
maybe.
probably. Yep.
I'm not sure.
Bit more direct. Same time zone, at least.
Yeah.
Right. Add that to my Notion base of pencil sharpener V2 resources. That doesn't have much in it, but we'll get there.
Please type it me. I'm lonely.
I'm lonely. So yeah, good week here. Which, suspiciously leaves me in a good mood. I'm like thinking about it yesterday. It's like how much is my work mood linked to the weekly cycle of the profit, of the bank account balance using this profit first method? And I think it's probably pretty high. It's like we hit target by Wednesday. I was like, great. I've still got certain quotes that I want to get out the door, but I feel a whole lot less pressure to smash myself, and I can just focus on the kids and do, what I have to do work-wise, keep things moving. But the bills will be paid this week.
I bet Aaron could tell how much money we've made that day based on, like, the business is made based on my attitude. My I bet you can read me that way by now. It's way too connected, unfortunately. I mean, maybe I just need a little more cognitive behavioral therapy. Speaking of, I'm being summoned.
Okay, need to wrap up.
I'll be right back. Let's see if we can do this for a second or two.
I'll hang out. What am I going to tell you about? Something random? Don't know. What do I do about this brand that's making shelves that look like ours? tymbr.au is the website. It's pretty immediately recognizable as the shelves that Laura designed in 2009 and we've been making ever since. Check it out.
Cotton candy.
You can stare at stuff and we can finish up.
Just a little bald head out of frame.
The little bit of bald head. He was very red coming off of a nap from his fever, and he looked like a tomato, but in one spot is looks like he had been bruised as a tomato. It's just so red except for one. That's all new to me. He loves my keyboard.
Oh, yeah,
anyway,
fun.
That's good. That's a great week. What was the source of your sales?
Just a little spike on the website.
Oh,
which is cool.
But nothing.
Just some
nothing
straight up web sales and finishing a job for those interior designers that sent me that crazy purchase order. We finished that job, and so we had the second half payment come in for that. Went absolutely fine. No issue. I mean, we haven't delivered it yet. That's Monday, but there were no questions about paying the second half of the invoice. They just paid it straight up.
Right.
Site manager's been easy to deal with. Yeah, it's going well. It's good.
Cool.
Fine. So yeah, just a combination of finishing jobs and some good web orders coming through. So
yeah, very nice. Here we've had pretty steady web sales, which has been great.
Awesome.
I feel like it's hard to always see it kind of in the moment as you're churning through, but I do go and look at the sales by profitability by item. There's some really good new analytics in Shopify, and I've been kind of categorizing things. The CNC tools have done okay, and it's interesting to see stuff that we've really tried to add in the last year you know, it's all kind of growing. It's raising the overall. Whereas, you know, we started out for so long with just a couple products that, you know, it was either we sold dust boots or pedestals or duck towers or nothing for so long. So, you know, having variability is a really nice thing now.
Yeah, it's right. Spreading it out. Someone's found
broke
something
a key
fun.
off my keyboard, threw my
Really?
fell on the floor. It's kind of like last night. Everybody got to bed, and I was like, "Oh, it's finally some time. I'm gonna watch a little YouTube. I'm gonna work on Fusion on the couch." I let the dog out to go to the bathroom. She comes back in really fast, and I was like, "Is that Skunk?"
Uh-oh.
Oh, I made a disaster out of the bathroom trying to give her a bath, and then of course, she woke up the baby screaming. Everybody woke up at that point. I was like, that's not what I was shooting for tonight.
Disaster. Yeah.
Still got the tool tag tower done though. I was happy about that.
Good. Nice work. That's cool.
I think I probably need to head here soon. He's a little tougher to talk with the squiggly.
So Wrigley.
Mm-hmm.
A Wrigley
Doesn't like to
squiggly.
sit still anymore.
Should we save Aston's question for next time?
Maybe we can get some more questions. Yeah. There's only one in the time that I had. Maybe we'll get some more. I'm off next week, probably. I'm going to be on vacation. So
no stress.
Probably no show next week. That's my guess.
Let's go, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Send us some questions, as always.
Yes. Or tips
Through
on
the
how to
normal
fly with an
channels.
11-month-old. I would also like those.
Yeah.
As you can hear in the background. Just throwing
Just
things on my desk.
take an old mechanical keyboard for him to pull apart on the
Ooh.
plane.
Ooh. That might work.
And not ingest the keys.
Yeah. He's pointing at the pens. Give me the pens. All right. Well,
Cool. See you,
have a
Daddy.
good time. See ya. Bye.
Bye.